What is going on? Welcome to episode 164 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. On this very special episode, I've got Paul from Flump Studios to talk about Horizon Shift 81. What's going on, my guy?
Not much. Just walking around my front room, looking at you.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Well, chat says, hey, Paul. So, guys, before we start talking about Horizon Shift, remember, if you go to audibletrial.com/NPC, you can get yourself a free book from Audible. Check out something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One. The chair I'm sitting in is from Opseat. Go to n64josh.com/Opseat. Automatically save $10 at checkout. And remember, I have a Patreon. If you want to get an extra show for just $1, go to patreon.com/N64Josh. With that, I think we're gonna jump right into the interview. Here we go. All right, so Paul, we're gonna get to know you a little bit, man. Let's talk about your history with gaming and stuff. Like where did it all start?
Where did it start? Mid-80s. So I was born in 81. And I started playing games about 86. When I was about 5, I got an old microcomputer handed out from my sister. And then I think, we had a handful of games and they lasted for 2 years. And then I just started coding my own games because we didn't really have much money to buy anymore. So, we just started programming games out of books and stuff like that, and then started making my own stuff. And then a few years later, went on to the Mega Drive and stuff. When I got a bit older, and then moved on to the PlayStation, and then kind of just gone through the console cycle till now.
I got you.
Probably quite broad.
I see. So guys, we're actually doing this. We're doing this call he's on his phone right now. So bear with the audio because it's not going to be perfect. But I wanted to make sure we could chat about his game. So, I mean, did you play much Nintendo then growing up?
Only at a friend's house. What is it? Yeah, a couple of friends had a NES, but over here, it's more Sega. So I had a Mega Drive. Most of my friends had Mega Drives and Master Systems. A couple of friends had old NESs by the time we'd gone on to Mega Drive. I think one of my mates had a SNES, but he had quite a bit of money. So not really. I didn't get into Nintendo stuff until I got to 21, 22, and then started playing the back catalogue, and then realised that I'd missed all the good games.
So what were some of your favorite Nintendo games when you finally started playing?
That's the obvious stuff. Well, I'd always play. I'd played Mario a few times anyway. Mario 1, I always loved. But when I went back to it, Metroid was big. Zelda, obviously. What was the name? Even stuff like Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah,
I love Donkey Kong Country, and it seems like there's a lot more proper adventure games where you could save your progress and stuff. Which Mega Drive didn't seem to have so much of that, or Genesis. That was more like a one play deal. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it was like playing Metroid, which it really made me realize how cool Nintendo stuff was. Oh, and Mario World as well, which is obviously amazing. Right. So I think Mario World is still one of my favorite games ever.
And so when you say Metroid, are you talking Super Metroid?
Yeah, sorry, Super Metroid.
Oh, man, yeah. I love it.
I Metroid, but I didn't play Metroid until last year, the first one,
right.
Which is quite sad, I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Super Metroid's one of my probably top 5 all-time favorite games. Absolutely love that game. So glad to hear that one made the cut for you. That's great.
Yeah, and Castlevania as well. Forgot about that.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let's fast forward a little bit then. Did you play much of the 64 or the GameCube or anything like that?
Yeah, I miss the 64 because over here, not many people had the N64 over here. It was more. The PlayStation was a lot bigger, and it was so expensive. It was like £60 a cart. So I don't know what that is in dollars. For like $80 to $90 for a cartridge, which is just mental. So yeah, GameCube. I had a GameCube. Wind Waker was like my favorite game on there.
Oh, awesome!
And love Wind Waker. What else?
Did you get into Metroid Prime or Mario Kart or Mario Sunshine or anything?
Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me. I kind of went blank. Mario Sunshine, I didn't play much of. I didn't like it that much. Just, I know, it's probably not popular. But yeah, I love Metroid Primes. They're amazing. We had 1 and 2, and I love 3 on the Wii as well.
Okay, so then obviously you moved on to the Wii. Any other games other than Metroid on that system?
Again, with the Wii, I didn't get one until like way after, and then so Galaxy 1 and 2 are like 2 of my favorite games. Metroid 3. What was another one? There's a shoot 'em up. His name by Treasure. I can't remember the name, which is amazing. That one really stands out for me. Twilight Princess as well. That was like that was the first 3D Zelda game I played. That was amazing. Oh wow!
Interesting. Did you get Skyward Sword? No, you're good. You're good. Did you play Skyward Sword?
I didn't actually. I didn't get the Motion Plus. So I didn't get around to it.
Gotcha.
But then towards I think a bit towards the end after that, after I played Twilight Princess, I started having a lot less time, so I couldn't put that much time into like Zelda games.
I see.
Which moved me back towards arcadey stuff.
Gotcha. So let's transition a little bit to the Switch. What have you been playing on that?
Not much. Because I don't actually have a proper Switch. I only have a dev kit.
Interesting.
Which is a bit. I just haven't had a chance to get it because it's quite expensive. So I was kind of hoping releasing this game would make enough to actually buy a Switch. So then I could actually play my own game. So maybe I will get one. But yeah, it's kind of embarrassing because everyone asks that question. So, what other good games are there? I don't really know. I haven't got one. But and yeah, the dev kit doesn't appear to play commercial games, which is quite annoying.
I see. Hey, what color Joy-Cons does that dev kit have?
Grey. Oh, I think you can use. You might be able to use other ones. I'm colorblind anyway. It doesn't make any difference.
I see. At one point, I had heard that the dev kits were actually black, and I've always wanted to get a hold of a pair of those. So that's what I was wondering if it was true or not. So
it might be for some people. It might be like an early version. I don't know.
I see.
But that would be cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So okay, well let's transition into into becoming an indie dev and making games and stuff. It sounds like you started extremely young, like before you were 10.
Yeah, I think I was 7. I'm trying to think. I think it was when I started like dabbling when I was 7. I think I wrote my first. I called it a game, but a semi game when I was about 8 in BASIC. So nothing special. And then it was kind of right. Then I started just copying code out of books, and then started making not slightly more proper games from about 10 onwards. Then arcade games. And then, kind of just it's something I've just always kept doing. It's just something that's just always been there. It's like probably one thing in my life that's just always been there.
How many games do you think you've made?
Well, I've done 10. I've released 10. So I would have made, and the ones I haven't released, probably 30, 40. Wow. Yeah, must be about 30 or 40.
Wow, that's wild. So where are most of your games? Are they like PC or mobile or?
like all over the place. So I did. God, I did like 10 on Windows Phone, which got taken down because I didn't keep up with the ESRB stuff. Then I did like, God, this would be loads. Did like about 20 probably on like microcomputers, like the Amstrad CPC and Spectrums, things like that. God, where else was that? And then I did like 5 or 6 just PC games that I never released. And then there was Xbox Live Indie, which was where I started actually selling them. Then Steam, there's like 5 or 6 on Steam, and now moved over fully to like console stuff now. Now Steam's dead.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about Horizon Shift 81. This feels like when I popped this game in and did my first look, it felt like almost like a mix of all the best 80s arcade games combined. Like what was the inspiration here? Where'd the idea come from?
Just what you just said. That's literally it. It's just So genuinely, the idea was the first idea come from when I played TXK. TXK on the Vita, and I remember just how cool Tempest was. So I started going back and like playing the original Tempest and then all my old MAME games from the 80s. And that's always been like my favourite era, like Gallagher, Star Castle, Tempest, Robotron, stuff like that. And then it was just like, okay, I'm going to put all this in one thing and then hopefully it makes something new. So that was the idea. And I think it did. Seems to have worked.
Oh man, you've got, and to see like throw in stuff like kind of some Breakout inspired, like I don't know if that was a bonus level or whatever, but like asteroids hitting the rail that your ship is on. Like I got the like Space Invader vibes, like it really kind of hit it, but then it also kind of had some modern things like with your power ups to your guns and the flames and everything. Like, and I really appreciated just the art style and the lights. I mean, it looked like something you would have seen in an arcade in the 80s. Like well done, my friend.
Thanks very much. Yeah, so that's awesome to hear because that's exactly what I wanted. So the Breakout bit, it was a bit clumsy because I was like, I love Breakout and Arkanoid, and I just wanted it in there. Mm-hmm. I was like, how? So I just thought, just put it as a bonus level.
Gotcha. Very cool. So what was it like? I mean, you've probably had some friends or something. Have you been able to see the game on the Switch?
Only the dev kit and you guys and like Twitch streamers and YouTubers. So no, I still haven't seen it actually running on a commercial Switch. I assume it's the same as the dev kit though. It was, this was the most restricted development I've ever had. We basically had no money or time. So it was just get it made and see what happens.
I see. Okay. So, I mean, this is like passion project, like you're working nights and weekends on this thing.
I'm a full-time web dev in the day and then come home at night, and then I've got my 2 kids and they go to bed at about 7:30, and then my wife tends to go to bed at like 9:30. So then I tend to start up till about 1. So I probably get like 9:30 till 1 working on the game, and then maybe a couple of hours on the weekends as well. So it's quite tiring. But they got it done.
I love it, man. I love hearing about the grind. I love hearing about the, just like waiting to work on what, putting your, like basically taking your time after the family's asleep. I kind of do the similar thing with all the content I create, trying to do as much as I can, like either get up super early so that I can get off work earlier and then have evenings with the family and that kind of thing. Like, I totally dig it, dude. I totally dig it.
It's hard work, isn't
it? It's hard work, but it never feels like work when you love it so much.
Yeah, it's like the way I think about it is like a hobby that kind of pays for itself. So he's it hasn't sold many, but it has sold enough to pay for my like Steam sale binge. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, what advice would you have for people wanting to get into game development?
Yeah, that's quite tricky because I haven't ever made anything successful. I can give advice on like I don't know. I think the main bit of advice I can think of is just get started. Like, I see a lot of people asking on forums and Facebook posts like, "How do I become a game dev? How do I learn programming?" And it's just easy. Just learn it. Just literally just pick a tutorial, pick a language, and just start. And that's the main thing is, once you start, it only takes like a week when you're in this horrible zone of really not knowing what's going on. And then it just starts to click, and then all the pieces slowly fall into place. You carry on learning for years, but you can start being productive after like a couple of weeks. And once it's bit you, then it's easy because it's not really hard work anymore, as you say. Then you start to enjoy it. If you're 6 months in and don't enjoy it, give up, I would say.
Right. Well, first off, I would say don't sell yourself short as far as like maybe something isn't quite a success in your eyes, but I mean, from where I'm sitting, the fact that you have a game that you created by yourself on the Switch, man, that's something there. You know what I mean? And there's going to be, thousands of people that like, how did you do it? What was the process like with Nintendo?
It's slightly different for me because I've been doing it for quite a long time. I've got a publisher, and so they kind of work with me. So I'd actually, I think it was about a year and a half ago, I kind of semi-given up. So I was kind of like just working on tiny little games for myself and then stuff for my son. And then my publisher was like, "We've got a dev kit. Do you want to make something?" And I was like, "Yes, I'd love to. That'd be amazing." And that was it. And they sent me one. And then I made the game and sent it to them. That was pretty much it. I didn't directly deal with Nintendo, but they were, from what I heard, they were really good. It was really smooth. It was not far off as being as smooth as Steam. It's been good.
That's really good to hear. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into the game. Like it basically plays like this. You're a ship that sits on a rail that you either shoot up or down. You have to flip the ship between up or down, and asteroids can hit the rail and break out parts of it, and then you can jump over those broken parts. You also have some enemies that will stick to the rail, and if you hit the triggers, you can boost to the side, knock them off, send them flying, and all this time you're shooting, getting power-ups, you're rescuing look like, I don't know if they're astronauts or whatever, that they're trying not to slam into the rail, so you can kind of save them. How, like, I probably played like 15, 20 minutes or whatever. Does it keep progressing? Is there more enemies? Does it add more things? Is there a certain number of levels? Are we playing for a high score? Like, kind of break that down for us.
So it's not like random or anything. It's not like some of the old arcade games. There's 36 levels, and you've got 5 bonus levels, 6 bosses. So it's quite structured. So each level is like handmade. It's not like randomly generated or anything. So what you get, the same enemies kind of turn up at the same time, possibly in slightly different positions or something. But pretty much it's the same. And then those little alien guys, they drop down. The idea of those being aliens is that it's the opposite of like Robotron and Defender. So you don't save the humans, you save the aliens. Okay. And then if you save 5 of them, then you get your breakout level, which is a bonus level. If you finish that, you get an extra life.
Okay.
Yeah, no one can though. I definitely over tested it and I got too good at it. So I can do. No one else seems to be able to get a 1-up, but that was my mistake.
All right, when I get it, I'm gonna tweet at you, and I'll have a little video. I'm gonna now I know what I need to do. That's the new goal.
Yeah, and yeah, it does get the idea as well. One thing I did steal kind of from Nintendo is I always remember like Miyamoto saying, always surprise them. So after every like few levels, you want to bring in some kind of surprise, even if it's small. Bring a change. So for every you see a different enemy probably after every 2 or 3 levels. And sometimes it's just the same enemy but slightly different. But as long as you always got something different, it keeps it kind of exciting. If you get 2 levels that feel even slightly the same, then that's kind of a dead level. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. That's great. What? So I love the fact that you included so many different modes. There's kind of a standard arcade mode, and then there's like the hyper mode. Like, does this game end up getting like pretty crazy the further along you get?
Yeah. Let's go through. Have you got to the bit with the little spikes?
I think the furthest I got was the first boss, and maybe a little bit past that, and that was about it.
Oh, so I think you get that. Yeah, so it gets quite. The idea is, the multitasking. So at first, it's quite tricky to do the top and the bottom. So that's a bit weird. And then the idea is you get used to that. And then you get a little bit further, and then you've got the enemies attacking from the side, which is the little spikes. Mm-hmm. So then you have to think about up, down, left, and right. And then you get a little bit further, then the horizon starts moving up and down. So then you've got to think about where the horizon position is, the enemies going from left and right, and the top and the bottom attacks. And then we bring in some new stuff like the snake starts firing bullets and things like that. So when you get to like the 4th phase, there's a lot happening, but you should have been taught how to deal with it, if I've made it right.
I gotcha. Yeah, I loved seeing like the snakes or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is very Centipede. Like there's so many nods to classic franchises that I personally really, really appreciated it. Like what this game would probably be great. I think there's a new grip out there. I think it's called like a flip grip or something, where you can actually put the Switch sideways, and then this is where this kind of game is going to shine, right? Because it's playing in that that portrait mode, basically, right? And so
yeah, it's quite lucky because the flip grip come out like either the same time or maybe a little bit before it. But the main reason I wanted to make it in that orientation was because of the Switch is brilliant for turning it on its side and having those kind of games. Like Ikaruga works really well in it and things like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it was just really lucky to come out at the same time, and I think that's helped a lot with reviews and things like that, and a lot of user feedback. They've really liked it. So yeah, I think we were lucky there.
Yeah, it's great, man. That's great. Well, hey, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. Can you tell everybody where they can find you and maybe get more info about the game or anything like that?
Probably the best place is just on Twitter. So just at Flump Studios. Actually, I'll just put it in the comments. Make sense. Yeah, so just follow me on Twitter. That's pretty much the only place I'm really active anymore. And there is a website, but no one's going to go on there. It's just flumpstudios.co.uk.
Okay, I'll get links to both your Twitter and the website in the show notes so that people can check it out. And how much is the game on the eShop right now?
$10. I think it's $10.
Okay, yeah, it's worth every penny, guys. Definitely check it out. It's been out for about 3 weeks, you said?
Yeah. I can't remember the exact day, but yeah, about that.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, hey, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me on. That was awesome.
And guys, if you want to follow me, you can on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the places. It's at N64Josh. The show notes for this episode, n64josh.com/NPC 164. Okay, n64josh.com/NPC 164. You can email the show at npc@n64josh.com. If you want to get yourself that free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something great like Console Wars, Ready Player One, lots of good stuff. The chair I'm sitting in from Opseat. Go to n64josh.com/Opseat. You'll automatically save $10 at checkout. And I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/n64josh. Just $1 gets you an extra podcast each month. Make sure to join the Discord. We have tons of good people in there. We're playing lots of games. We're playing Smash. We're playing Rocket League. We're playing just everything on the Switch. So come hang out. It's a great time. A few of us are playing Horizon Shift 81, so make sure you guys check that out. We have a Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. You can come hang out there if you'd like. And lastly, if you could rate and review on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening week in and week out. It's so awesome. If you're here live on Twitch, thank you guys. I see Shellshock and Delmonic and Plumber, and Rust Belt Kid. Thank you. I see Run Jump Stomp from the Nintendo Switchcraft. Make sure to check that podcast out. And this has been a good time, Paul. Thanks again, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye now.